We are talking with 24th District State Senator Seth Lewis. Senator, wanted to get with you and have a discussion for a few minutes about a crisis that's facing Illinois, the influx of individuals who don't have the ability to take care of themselves, mostly in the Chicago area. And, of course, the state is and the city of Chicago are stepping up and providing some financial support, but that's causing money problems for the state, including the diversion of taxpayer dollars for critical issues such as providing care for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. But you and some other legislators were able to put a halt to that, to those cuts, at least temporarily. What's the latest?
We were, and thank you very much for the question, because it's an issue that all of us are facing here in Illinois. Our resources are limited. As you mentioned, we have seen an influx of those who cannot take care of themselves coming to Illinois, and the resources that are being utilized to take care of those individuals are directly impacting those who resided in Illinois for a long time and currently do not have the ability to take care of themselves. The issue you're referencing is we saw a potential $90 million cut to the budget that takes care of those who are developmentally disabled. Ray Graham Association is a local in my district, and they provide housing for adults that do not have the ability to take care of themselves. Within these homesteads are service providers that are funded between private and state contributions, and the state was going to reduce the number of hours in which it provided services to these individuals to the tune of about $90 million. We got together, bipartisan, Senate and House, spoke with the governor's office. I was not part of those conversations. I was just part of the initiative, and that decision was reversed temporarily. But everyone should be aware, I am acutely aware, that this is what's going to potentially happen during the budgetary processes, where the governor's office will cut monies from one fund, divert those funds to those who have newly arrived, and those that cannot take care of themselves currently are going to be shortchanged with monies that are going to others who have just arrived. I see this potentially happening in schools, in funding for infrastructure, in health insurance, Medicaid, many different areas where a large department such as the Department of Health and Human Services, which has a $35 billion budget, where things can be trimmed and money siphoned off to help those who are newly arriving here in the state of Illinois.
You're the Republican spokesman on a Senate Budget Committee that handles issues with health and human services. How are you preparing for that? Is there any way to get these cuts off the bargaining table, or are they bargainable at all? What is your hope?
Well, and I'm not the spokesman of that committee. I'm on that committee. But just for clarification there, I don't know if it's bargainable because we first need the data. We need the transparency. Right now, I would say almost all of these transactions are happening under the guise of executive order, emergency rulemaking, different procedures that allow the governor, his team, and the agencies that directly report to him to make these financial maneuvers. We're going to try and get the information so we can have a transparent discussion, make this discussion available to the rest of the legislature, to the public, to the news outlets, so that we can all begin to see what's occurring. Once we do that, I think we'll be able to negotiate. I think we'll be able to have friends of the legislature understand what's happening. Those that need these monies learn that they are being cut and diluted, or that the pot of funds is being diluted for more. It's going to be tough, don't get me wrong, but we're keeping a watchful eye coming up in the next session, or this current session, I should say.
Well, every year during the spring session, the budget is perhaps the biggest challenge that you and your colleagues on both sides of the aisle have to face. It's a lot of difficult decisions on figuring out how much revenue the state's going to receive and how best to spend it for one priority or another. And it just seems like so many people are coming to the state of Illinois with this inability to take care of themselves, but also at a time when the state is seeing some real concerns about its finances. So a lot of difficult decisions over the next several months.
There are going to be a lot of difficult decisions. The term out there, a lot of my colleagues have used the term, the budget is a reflection of your values. But don't let that fool you. I'm not sure it's good moral and values to take away from those who currently need it most. And that's what's happening, because there is no revenue increases. We're not proposing a tax hike. We would be opposed if there was, of course. But I go back to this is going to be a dilution of the current pot to those who are currently getting, I believe, are going to be getting less, because we're going to be sharing it with more individuals based upon the policies we have as a welcoming state for those who cannot take care of themselves. If we were truly trying to grow our population, I think our business climate and many of the regulations that are impacting businesses in wanting to grow, we would be looking at that just as much as we are about some of these social service programs we're offering.
Okay, well, Senator Seth Lewis, thanks very much for the time, and we'll just, at some point down the road, there will be an update for folks, and we'll see how discussions and debate progresses.
Sounds good. I look forward to it. Thank you very much.